What's up, men and gentle ladies? Today, I will be going over everything in Roblox Rivals Update 21 that you might not have heard of yet. Today, I'll be going over gameplay changes, changes to the game, balance changes, and everything new in this update. To start with the obvious, I'm sure most of you have seen that the first Rival Summer event is here. Similar to the Halloween and Christmas update, there is now a summer skin case, as well as pearls which you can use to unlock limited time tropical chests, an emote, charm, wrap, and finisher. And with that, we have the legendary Pearl Bundle for 4,999 Robux, which comes with the mythic Riptide Katana. Part of the new summer update is the thing we've never seen before. The Palm Scythe is available to be unlocked for 749 Robux, which is limited time to the summer event. Pearls are unlockable after you complete your daily tasks, with a ×5 booster until you reach 250 pearls for the day. Secondly, we have the free rewards that you guys have most likely already seen. This was just put in the update log, although the feature has already came out. You can now watch an ad to receive one key, and then you can watch another ad to receive the Brimstone Wrap for a random weapon. It looks like the ads have been moved up, as it is now 3 ads to unlock one key, and it is 4 ads to unlock the Brimstone Wrap for a random weapon. You can also watch ads to try out standard weapons for a match. These offers are only available to eligible players, which includes people who are old enough and have no parental controls, not allowing them to watch ads. Third, Mixedify got a charm. Mixedify, the guy who hits sniper chick shots, has finally received a charm with this update. Congratulations to him. Fourth, the new limited time pirate bundle hits the skin shop. In this bundle, we see the Kraken Sniper, Cannon Shorty, Pirate Hook Fists, the Ship in a Bottle Molotov, and the Cutlass Katana. You'll also receive the Long Lost Treasure Charm for all weapons, the Dutchman Wrap, the Spectralized Finisher, and the X marks the spot emote. This is all available in the skin shop for 799 Robux. This is only here for a limited time, so get it if you like any of the skins. Fifth, the Sandbox map has been officially reworked by Great Guy Boom to be a summer-themed map. It has now received its own tasks in progress, as well as its own Diorama Sandbox Charm if you get 1,000 round wins on the map. Now that we are done with the big features for this update, let's go over the smaller things you might not have heard about yet. You'll notice this first feature has already taken effect. It looks like Rivals just put it in the update log for Update 21. The matchmaking system is now faster and much more fair, less canceled duels, and even prioritizing your server region so that you have less ping. Rivals promises updates to ranked matchmaking coming soon. Slingshot, Grenade Launcher, and also RPG have switched to a new raycast projectile system which prevents them from being abused by cheaters. We should no longer see cheaters using the Slingshot Rage in this new update. Quick attacks are now processed on the client instead of the server, which means if you're on high ping, you'll still be able to use your quick melee and quick utility instantly. However, their abilities and switching back to your other weapons still stay server-sided, which still causes lag. We can see improvements when using things like Scythe, Fists, and especially Battle Axe. The 12-second matchmaking countdown at the beginning of duels will now be entirely skipped if all players are connected to the server. This will improve that annoying 12-second wait even when everyone is connected. Rivals added a notification for people who join a matchmaking duel late that they'll need to sit out for that game. Rivals will now also place you at a much more reasonable elo when you complete your ranked placement matches for this season if you played ranked in the previous season. One of the biggest changes in this update you may have already noticed is that your opponent's rank is hidden in ranked mode until the end of the game. This is for less players to give up when they face against a high-ranked player like Arch Nemesis. Rivals added the feature for you to see the damage that you deal to Riot shields. Arcade servers' ammo drops and health drops have changed. Ammo drops are now balanced, meaning Subspace Trip Mine, Jump Pad, Flashbang, and Satchel won't refill as much as before. This fixes constant Subspace Trip Mine farming in FFA. Health drops now clear burn effects, the same thing Medkit does. Arcade servers now have even more XP restrictions to counter XP gain and farming. Tasks have also been temporarily disabled in arcade mode to prevent farming as the developers work on a new fix for them. Finally, for this last update, we'll have to go around and find all of the X shooting range targets so that we can unlock the Nosniy bot boss. Okay, so it turns out I just spent 10 minutes looking around trying to find the last target, and it was open the whole time. So, head into this room, talk to the shady chicken, and you can fight either Nosniy or Sensei. Let me fight Nosniy real quick. Finally! Let's go! That means I have officially unlocked the head of the Nosniy bot charm for Warhome. Now finally I can say what I've been getting to. When you beat one of the simulations, you will receive a charm for a random weapon. For me, I received the head of the Nosniy bot on the Warhome. Let me go beat the Sensei bot real quick. Oh, finally, holy, it's been so long and I finally got the head of the Sensei bot charm for the fists. I won't lie, I got really lucky with these charms. These are some pretty good charms though. Very easy boss fight, I will say myself. I think these charms look pretty epic, and I actually will be using these. Let's move on to the new settings. As you can see, Rivals has completely revamped the new in-game UI. You can customize the way that your weapons that you have equipped are laid out, as you can now move things like your health bar, your spectator UI, your equipped weapon UI, weapon list, and more. You can change this back to the default layout if you want. These changes are under Game in the settings, and then they are under Interface. You can now disable the aiming animation. This makes it so that when you're ADS'd, you no longer scope in and you no longer see your gun. This is available under Gameplay, and you can toggle off and on aiming animation. Obviously, this change does not apply to the sniper. Personally, I think this is a very underlooked option. You still get your classic ADS zoom, however the gun model will no longer be in the way. This means anyone without glass wrap will still be able to see through their gun while aiming down sights. Under audio, you can now mute other finishers and mute other people's emotes. This will make it so that you can no longer hear anybody else's finishers and emotes, but you can only hear yours. This is a great change. Finally, you can now change the damage numbers color for both body shots and headshots. You can change these colors to your liking. This feature is under Gameplay, and is damage numbers. You can customize whatever you'd like. You can even turn off damage numbers. Next, let's go over all the buffs and nerfs to guns in this update. The buffs for this update include Distortion, Grenade Launcher, Shotgun, Sniper, Daggers, Shorty, Uzi, and Maul. The nerfs for this update include Burst Rifle, Minigun, Permafrost, Exogun, Riot Shield, and Freeze Ray. The tweaks/updates for this update include Paintball Gun. Let's start off with a pretty big change to Rivals that most competitive players will notice. Burst Rifle starts us off with a pretty big nerf, with the developer note saying, the Burst Rifle was overtuned after its recent rework. Reload time was increased from 1.2 seconds to 1.6 seconds, a very noticeable change that is personally messing me up as I had gotten used to the Burst Rifle only taking 1.2 seconds to reload. Secondly, the damage drop-off range, aka the range where after a certain distance your damage will decrease based on how far the enemy is, has decreased from 75 studs to 60 studs. Distortion comes next with a buff, honestly making Distortion much stronger now, with the developer note saying it was too difficult to shoot opponents trapped inside vortexes. Vortexes now pull enemies directly into the center of the vortex, meaning it is much easier to shoot opponents. I don't see how this affects any weapons aside from raycast weapons, as things like Distortion and Exogun already deal damage to areas surrounding where you shoot, so this seems like it's just a change made to kill people easier. The Grenade Launcher comes third with a buff, with the developer note saying the Grenade Launcher struggled to hit opponents on open maps with its small explosion radius. The explosion radius was increased from 12 studs to 14 studs. I can see this affecting the use of Grenade Launcher on smaller maps like Arena, but positively helping out on open maps like Battleground or Station. Minigun was hit with a pretty big nerf, as the developers say we wanted to keep the miniguns insanely high DPS in a way that didn't feel too strong. Moving while shooting now decreases the accuracy of your bullets, which makes it harder to use the minigun on top of the slow movement speed. Paintball Gun was updated to make Paintball Gun feel better to use, in the developers' words. Projectile speed was increased by 22%, with the projectile hitbox size decreasing by 25%. This should improve paintball a little more after its recent rework. Permafrost was hit with a nerf. As the developers say, the freeze mechanic has always been frustrating to play against. I find this kind of contradicting, as the Permafrost was added as a companion towards the freeze rays, its whole point being freezing players, and I feel the previous nerf was too strong. The previous nerf was lowering ammo size, if you're not aware. Freeze damage reduction now lasts for 1 second after thawing. This means that after the player gets out of the freeze, their damage will be reduced for an additional second, making it harder to play freeze range Shorty. Overall, the Permafrost is still an insanely good weapon. It has a high DPS, and is still super good to use in normal games. Shotgun was also buffed. As the developers note, the shotgun should be threatening up close. Damage was increased from 7.5 times 10 to 8 times 10. Critical damage was increased from 11.25 times 10 to 12 times 10. This means that if you hit all 10 bullets as a critical and 10 studs within a player, you will deal 120 damage. Obviously, with bullet spread, it is very variable. Good change, shotgun is 100% something to look out for while playing in the new update. Quick little fun fact, I actually used the shotgun battle axe method against Misty in ranked, and I won against him. Shotgun's definitely overpowered, look out for it this update. Sniper was buffed after its recent major nerf, as the developers finally realized it was too difficult to headshot opponents. The hitbox size was increased by 17%, finally bringing back that good old sniper we've been waiting for. Daggers were buffed, as the developers say the daggers were too inconsistent with such a slow equip cooldown. Equip cooldown was decreased from 0.8 seconds to 0.6 seconds. This will definitely improve using daggers for double jump or even just using it as a weapon. The Exogun was nerfed. For no apparent reason too, as the developers state, happy birthday rivals. The shoot spread was increased from 0.5 degrees to 0.628 degrees. A small change, but it is definitely something to look out for when tracking players at a farther distance with Exogun. Shorty was buffed. As developers state, it was too inconsistent with such a slow equip cooldown. The equip cooldown was decreased from 0.7 seconds to 0.6 seconds, making it faster to pull out and use. Let's be honest, who uses the Shorty for anything other than freeze ray? If you use the Shorty for anything other than freeze ray, let me know in the comments what you use it for. Uzi was buffed. The shoot spread was decreased from 2 degrees to 1 degree. As developers state, this change should make the Uzi much more consistent at range. It seems we are buffing the Uzi more, and now the Uzi is pretty good to use as a free-play weapon. The Maul, everyone's favorite melee, was buffed. As developers state, the Maul was not reactive enough to keep up with other melee weapons. The minimum slam altitude was decreased from 10 studs to 8 studs, making it easier to use the new slam ability. And finally, after 13 updates, the infamous melee that is used for one thing and one thing only, sitting in a corner and staying invincible with Riot Shield, has been nerfed. The developer's note states, the day has come. The max health statistic has been decreased from infinity to 500. You now need to deal 500 damage to break someone's Riot Shield and not let them use it for the rest of the current round. Finally, freeze ray has been nerfed, as the freeze mechanic has always been frustrating to play against. It seems like rivals just made the freeze ray and permafrost consistent with each other. Frozen damage reduction now lasts for 1 second after thawing, and frozen enemies are now slowed down by 50% for 1 second after thawing. I should add in here that freeze ray Shorty is now no longer possible with the new nerf. If you try and use it in a game, you will find that you'll only be doing up to like 114 damage, I think. So you won't be able to use this anymore, obviously, unless your opponent is a lower health. It will obviously help get at least that 100, 200 down, but with the new nerfs to Permafrost and Freeze Ray, this completely changes Permafrost Freeze Ray Shorty. Moving on, we're going to discuss the other changes that Rivals made in Update 21. Rivals added support to differentiate between Roblox Plus and Roblox Premium for people who still have a subscription to Roblox Premium. If you still have Roblox Premium, just get Roblox Plus. It's better, and all of Premium's features were discontinued anyway. Rivals added very subtle changes to the dual pad queuing user interface while playing in private servers. I couldn't find this change, so let me know in the comments what you think the change is. Rivals added a subtle user experience improvement to the private server settings page where kicking, banning, and unbanning players at the bottom of the page no longer scrolls you back up to the top. Good change. Rivals greatly increased the performance of the map voting screen for big duels, as in large private server duels. Unfortunately, I am not popular enough, so I couldn't try this out to see the change. Previewing the jump pad while it is locked in the weapons interface now shows how many jump shards you have collected and how many more you need to unlock the jump pad. One of the best features added in this update is that the contracts displayed in the task page now displays a toggle between tasks nearing completion and your most played weapons. This applies for both weapon contracts and map contracts. Viewing a loot box, skin cases, and chests, odds are now much more detailed and granular, allowing you to expand and collapse nested loot boxes to see chances for receiving an item out of a skin case and even the chances for seeing which weapon a random cosmetic will go to. Rivals added icons for the medkit Heals Given contract and the Riot Shield Damage Absorbed contract. There is now new images for the Brass Knuckles and Glorious Fist skins to be in line with the Festive Fist skins. Hopefully we'll see the Pumpkin Claws soon, as these do follow a similar style, but I don't know if we'll see that coming. The Haunted Chest has a slightly different image now, so it's more centered. The Ray Gun skin for Exogun now has yellow muzzle flashes. The muffled lobby music now plays while a page is open instead of only in the weapons page. Finally, the note from the developers. Rivals promises that the next update will be focused on serving as many as the community's needs as possible, a change from the previous couple of updates which were more focused on cosmetics and spending Robux. Rivals is taking some time to develop something to properly address cheaters. Their anti-cheat has banned over 3 million cheaters, but Rivals wants to do much more. This update must be in retaliation to the release of Overkill, which boasts an anti-cheat against movement-based cheats. Rivals promises that they will be adding much more exciting things that all players can enjoy without spending Robux. They are trying to spice up gameplay and find a fair way of handing out free skins to dedicated players. Hopefully, this could be something like the introduction of skin tickets to allow for free skin tickets for dedicated players. Lastly, Rivals notes that the ranked mode has its issues. Rivals promises to lock in on identifying and addressing all problems around matchmaking, elo gain, and the glory shop. Rivals also wants to take a look at how they can make the Season Pass more exciting for all players. The majority of Ranked and Season Pass updates will not make their way into the next update, but they will be here in time for Season 4. Based on the update logs, it seems Season 4 will release for Halloween and will follow the Halloween event somewhere around October. Until then, enjoy the summer update and have a good one. So the Rivals' second birthday update just came out, and there are a couple new things that you can do in this update. You can now throw the birthday cake around the lobby. There is now balloons everywhere, as well as a second birthday cake up in the duel arena. There is now a disco ball up in the main lobby, as well as more decorations to follow suit. And there is now new tasks for the next 14 days to get the birthday candle skin on the knife. I've heard you need about 150 wins, which is doable within 14 days if you play consistently enough. This is what the skin looks like with the plastic wrap on it. I think it looks pretty good. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Have a good one, boys.